Hi, I'm Interprism. Today, I revamped the trigger system. The new trigger system allows new triggers to be added, notably the follow player X and Y, move towards and follow player rotation. Here is how it looks in the game. This all started when I fixed the camera system. I need to quickly explain how triggers work before explaining the old camera system. Triggers work using tweens, which animate a property, like the position and zoom, with a given easing and transition. They can animate any object, as long as it's in the scene, so the camera used to be a child of the player, meaning that it shared its position. It allowed for an easy static system, as I could move the camera to an object using its global position, and then move it back using its local position from the player. The issue was that since the player moved every frame, the camera would move with it, so I had to move the camera to the target position every frame. This was buggy because for some reason, every static trigger fought for the camera's position, and once the tween was finished, it would go to another trigger's target. I used a dirty fix that involved trigger priorities. Then I had the idea to detach the camera from the player. I had a script to move the camera lying around that I copied from this video by Iacnes. I made it smoother using linear interpolation. Now, the camera could detach from the player's position on the X and Y axis separately at any moment using a variable. But the static was still an issue, because I couldn't find a way to move the camera back to the player. If I moved the camera to the player using a tween, it would move it to the position of the player when the tween started, which is how tweens works, but not how I wanted it. My first idea was to make a system to predict where the player would be at the end of the tween, but it had a major flaw. It only worked if the player stayed in the same direction during the exit static. So I had a new idea. Use linear interpolation. Let me explain what it is. Essentially, you give it two numbers, and it will give you the number between those two using a weight, which is like a percentage, but between 0 and 1. With this new system, I tween the weight instead of directly tweening the property. This meant that I could change the final value dynamically, so I could move the camera to the player even if it moved. That's it for today. Like if you liked, subscribe if you want, and have a great day.